Hello, MJ. It's taken me longer than usual to post out all my things. I've got too many self promos going on, I guess. Or I forgot where they all are. That's the other thing. Clearly. Hello. Welcome. Hi. I'm back. I missed last week. I was sick. I'm still a little bit sick, but it's just kind of this weird lingering phlegminess. MJ, you're first. Congratulations. Happy Christmas. Queerly Studley, you're not first. Congratulations. Oop, I didn't write my thing. I didn't write my thing. You can watch me do that live. Uh, Hi. So, it didn't. I've been so busy. I've been working every day. Um, uh, you may know I work at retail. I work at a game store. My God, has it been busy? Just, just a frenzy. Um, so I haven't had a chance to plan out anything special, but I had planned out something for last week when I thought I was going to be showing up late and then just doing a quick thing because I had to work that day as well. I worked today. I was at work and then I was able to get away in time to get home to start this. And I'm feeling well. And that thing that I planned last time was this. it's it's you know what goes on pizza? Cheese, usually some kind of meat topping, spices. You know what goes on an everything bagel? A meat, some cheese, some spices. Here's our cheese, cream cheese. We're gonna throw in red onion. We're going to. I didn't buy. Slide over here. Come over here with me. So the everything bagel mix is poppy seeds, onion flakes, garlic, but I'm going to use this stuff. The jar is getting progressively bigger. Black and white sesame seeds. And then I constantly see them using dill. And I don't have any fresh dill, but I have dill leaf and dill seed. And I got a piece of fish. It was reduced, as always. So that's going to be the fish element. I put lox in the title. This isn't actually lox. This is smoked salmon. So this is fully cooked already. Which for a pizza makes more sense because you would ruin a raw cured fish by putting it in the oven regardless. So there's no point to that. And yeah, that's kind of the thing. If you guys have anything else you think goes on an everything bagel or an everything bagel pizza, you let me know. We're going to attempt to turn the cream cheese into our cheese for the pizza. And I'm also uncertain if we're going to include any kind of tomato. I do have a jarred tomato sauce. I've also got tomato powder. I've also got dried tomato. So, you know, we have things to think about as we piece this monstrosity together. I'm not sure where we're going to end up. Oh, and also, Christmas is this week. Christmas is on Thursday. I didn't plan anything special for Christmas. I'm gonna work right up to the wire, and then work the day after. Um, I'm a little bit manic from the work. Um, right? I kind of want to get the crust to be like studded with everything bagel seasoning. We might need to do an egg wash to get stuff to stick. Uh, I also, because again, I was planning on this being a quickie thing, have got a one of these pre-ready to go pizza doughs uh, that has been kind of cold fermenting in the fridge because I got it. It's been in there a week, so it's probably overproved. I'm also thinking maybe thin crust. I've got a really big pizza pan. So the pizza pan I've used in the past for my homemade pizzas has been this guy because it's sort of a standard size pizza pan. I've got a really big one here, which is about that much bigger. We could pull the dough out to this size and try to make a big thin crust. But I'm not sure about that either. A lot of sort of uncertainties at the moment. Let's slide over yonder. I also don't know how much of anything we're going to have or need. I think the limiting factor is going to be the amount of cheese coverage. I kind of want the cheese to be like the sauce layer as opposed to a topping layer, and then have things stick to it. Which means I need to get it softened. It's already room temp. I need to get it softened enough that I can like spread it, maybe even pour it. So I think that's gonna be my first test. Our first experiment is trying to make this into something that I feel like I can put on pizza. Wow, the foil just shreds apart, doesn't it? Okay, well, no resealing that one. Damn. Why have you done this? Okay, well, that was a mess. I have a little bit of Neufchâtel as well, and I think I might need it. I think I might need all of it. And that bit is still fridge cold because I wasn't 100% on using it, but I think looking at this now, I'm going to want it. Neufchâtel is like cream cheese, but it's much lower in fat. So, we don't need the little box anymore. I think I'm going to try to soften this with my hands like a dough first. I've had issues with softening cream cheeses before. I'm I'm also wondering if I want to mix a little bit of egg in there. Do like a, almost like a cream cheese topping, or like a cheesecake topping. Because this is currently still too firm to put onto a raw pizza dough. If it was one of those shaped crusts, you could spread this on there. This would be the time to have a stand mixer and just beat this. Got a lot of cream cheese on my hand. Maybe that wasn't the best idea. Do I throw an egg in there? I'm going with yes to the egg and also some olive oil. And we're going to see if I can't get this to loosen up just a bit. We're going to put the egg there. I'm going to open my compost bin. Trip! I do not have a shout out for you, Trip, because my hands are gross. But hi, Trip. How's it going? We're making nonsense. I'm making a nonsense. It's already a mess. It's already a mess. I don't know what we're doing. How was my weekend? Busy. I did have Sunday off, but I don't know if you know, I work retail at a game store, and you may have guessed that people like things like games around Christmas. We've been so busy. Oh, this is already softening up with the addition of these liquids. So, yeah, I didn't really have time to do elaborate plans. This is literally the thing I was planning last week when I canceled, so... Okay, we're going to need to get a beater out to get this smooth. And a scraper. So yeah, it's been real busy. It was real busy today. I was there today. I was there today being real busy. I bought a game. I don't buy a lot of games at our own game store because turns out games are kind of expensive. But I bought a game. It's about cats and rabbits having a pizza party. It's adorable. It also seems like a pretty fun game. Haven't had a chance to play it with anybody yet because I only got it yesterday. No, day before. But yeah, it's been a it's been a it's been a lot. It's been a lot. There's a million people there like all the time. Uh, Turns out, no matter how early you open extended hours to give people a chance to do Christmas shopping, they always wait for the weekend before Christmas to start thinking about it. Check your local mall hours if you want to go shopping for Christmas. They often extend hours weeks ahead of Christmas. We're going to get the beaters out because we got to get this thing combined and beaten smooth. So we are pulling out the beater, which is probably going to make us a mess. I'm expecting many messes today. How are you, Trip? What's been going on? I haven't seen hardly anybody or anything in a month because it's been, you know, madness. I'm going to give that a little bit of salt too. How's everybody? Not just Trip. How's everybody? How's Christmas? I tried to say that in a weird way, and I don't think it came across very well. It just sounded like I was breathy. You're done with work, playing Core Keeper, gonna eat dinner. I hope your dinner is more sane than mine. Mine is is whatever this is gonna be. This is working though. Okay, question. Do we add flavors to this? Ought to be warm in the 70s. That's not, I suppose I don't know where you are, but for me that would be insanely hot for December. This stuff's looking pretty good. Do we put any additional flavors in there? Currently it's salt and olive oil and cream cheese. I want the everything bagel stuff to be North Carolina. Okay, so you're much farther south, so that's not entirely out of entirely insane. Probably still a little bit warm for December. Do I add any flavors to this part? What do you guys think? I want the everything bagel seasoning to be very visible. So I don't want to mix it in at this stage, but this would be a good place to add other flavors. Spear! Oh my goddamn God. 42 months. 42 months. You know what that is? You know what that is? That's almost an entire year. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Wow. You've been with me since the beginning, since the annals of history. Hey, since you've been here so long and it's 42, the answer, what do we add to the flavors, if anything, to this? This is going to be our cream cheese sauce base. Clearly says tomato and dill, and or dill. I also have some homegrown dried basil that I could add to this. I wouldn't want to add it to the top because it would burn. But I could crush it up and mix it in there. The dill might also burn if I throw it on top. I do want to get the dill flavor in there. Because I got the dried dill leaf. Perhaps dill and not basil? What else we got? What else we got? What else we got? Oh, you know what we're going to use today? You know what we're going to use today? This dried lemon zest. That should be a good addition. Not to that. I think the dried lemon zest wants to go on the top. We're seconding dill. A whole bunch of it. Any opinions on basil? Basil. We're going to seal the dill in there so that when I mix it, it doesn't go flying. Okay. Dill and basil. And then I think I'm going to nix tomato if we're doing dill and basil here. Benefit of growing and drying your own basil is you can crush the leaves right before you use them, which makes the flavor more prominent than the pre-crushed leaves that you get from the grocery store dried basil. Okay. I also want to make sure that the basil doesn't go flying everywhere when I turn this on, so also pack it in a little bit. And then we get another scraper to scrape my scraper. But then we have to get another scraper to scrape that scraper. No, it's fine. Okay. Scrape. Set those guys aside. Let's get this party mixing. For those of you following along at home, and I know that there's none of you, because who would ever do such a thing? If you've got a stand mixer, do this in the stand mixer. You'll make way less mess. And you'll have more power to work with. You can also beat the cream cheese without having to add a bunch of liquid to it. Knock the goop off. Okay, I think that's probably about as good as it's going to get. In terms of the nonsense. You know, I probably should preheat the oven while we're doing all this. You think? I didn't do that. I did not turn on the oven yet. Mayhaps I should. Okay. Okay. Oven. Oven on. Put it at 400. It's a good sort of middle ground. Because I don't know what we're baking. I don't know, man. I don't know what we're doing. Oh, how'd that get there? Oh. This stuff is sticky and it's got raw eggs in it, so I should really stop licking my fingers, but but it also blobs itself out just a little bit fairly frequently. And it's so sticky. Gonna be fun to try to get that onto some raw pizza dough. I don't know why I did that either. I don't know why I do the things I do. You, set aside. Okay, next up, I need the flour tower, the tower of flour. I want to see what our dough looks like. That dough. Oh, so what's everybody up to today? Getting ready for Christmas? Got the time off, maybe? We heard from Trip earlier. He said things, food, work, core keeper, they were all good things. One of them was work. I think that guy may have sat in there too long. It's dried out on the end. It's not gone off on me. It's just kind of dried out in a few spots. VVCEDH. You monster. Why would you bring such evil into the world? Oh, I think this is going to be too big to roll out. We're going to start with the rolling pin, but I think we're going to end up getting a lot of sort of manual stretching. I like the idea of using that big pan. I like the idea of using the giant pan and making this a really wide pizza. Yeah, we're already pretty much there. Just doing the old-fashioned like push and stretch method of pizza growing, which works when your dough is very relaxed. Which this dough could not be more relaxed because I left it in the fridge for a full week. He is small and unassuming, and also, you monster. Why would you do such a thing? Okay. Now we have the problem of getting this on there without ruining the crust. It's. I think we want the pastry knife. Well, if we talk about magic, we will we will tip off my viewers to the fact that I like magic. Um, I got we the game store got restocked on Dragons of Dragonstorm, and I bought a pack. And in my pack was the Mardu Dragon, the Mardu Legendary Dragon, and I kind of want to build that now. I do work in a game store. I mentioned it. I mentioned a little bit earlier. It is why I have been so very, very busy for the Christmas because you know, game store. We don't talk about games so much around here because I haven't really. I've never incorporated it into my content. But yeah, I work at a game store. That's my day job. I like it. It's good. It's not the most lucrative thing in the world. Not gonna lie about that. This is working, honestly, better than I had feared. Given how thick this stuff is, using the pastry knife was definitely the right choice. You hang out with Magic and 40K, folks. You will never financially. No one will ever financially recover from either of those games. Um, our game store sells both of those games, although it is primarily a board game store, not a trading card game store. We have them, but they're not the main wheelhouse. I personally do not partake in Warhammer. It is too rich for my blood. It's a very expensive game. Um, but I do partake in Magic, and it's also too rich for my blood. It's very expensive. I don't buy nearly as much as I used to. I don't play as much as I either used to or would like to. Um, and right now, Magic is in quite a bad place. Uh, Financial concerns have caused some really problematic business decisions on the part of Wizards of the Coast. Eh. If my hands weren't so busy, so gross right now, I would use the smork emote. So please do it in my stead. That's the one. If I were to play Warhammer, orcs would be my thing. I love the idea of the orcs. Okay, that looks pretty good, right? Right? It's all. I mean, it just looks like white with little black speckles to you, but it's fairly evenly coated. Hopefully, this behaves in baking. This might be a mess. This might be a disaster. The thing that I am most concerned about happening, that I think actually probably will happen, chef, chef, it is, it is chef. You made it. Is the shell par baked? Absolutely not. It is raw pizza dough. It is a raw pizza dough. It's a big circle. I rolled it out real thin. Hi, chef. Okay, my hands are clean. I can shout people. Um, Shout out. Did I spell that right? Yes. Oh. No, this is going to be a disaster. The thing I think is going to happen is that the cream cheese is going to separate and make a puddle. That's honestly what I think is going to happen. Ooh. Let's get out a bowl. This bowl. I think I put an egg in there. I mixed one egg into it, um, with the hopes that that would help stabilize things the way it does in a cheesecake. I don't know if that's going to work. Uh, but I'm hoping, and that is the reason I added the egg. For those of you who were here when I added the egg and didn't say anything about why. Um, I also added olive oil, which might make the separation worse. And now I'm mixing up some everything bagel mix. How are you? Are you off today? You're obviously not cooking yourself. You're getting ready. Okay. This, I think, is our mix. Your typical everything bagel mix is black and white sesame seeds, poppy seeds, onion flakes, and garlic flakes. And I'm using the fried garlic instead. You love the concept. Uh, yeah, I mean, yeah, in concept, this sounds great, right? In practice, Lord knows. Lord knows. This could be a disaster. This one runs the risk of actually not being food when I'm done, uh, which I can say is not something I often run into. Whoa, whoa, bookwoman, bookwoman. 37th month of Prime. Hello and welcome. Okay, that is the seasoning layer. Next is the fish. Because also, there's fish. Because also fish. Oh, we're not done with the seasoning layer. No, we'll do the fish. You've learned from putting cream cheese in a quesadilla. What happened in the cream cheese in a quesadilla? Did it work? Did it separate? Was it a disaster? Was it a success? Our salmon today is, it says cracked pepper. There's also some kind of red pepper on it. You know, that's almost a year. It melted everywhere. Yeah. It's very soft, isn't it? I'm hoping the egg will stabilize ours a little bit. We're not using the skin off of this. We're doing capers. fresh tomato is not something that I associate with the everything bagel with lox. I'm not incorporating fresh tomato, and I don't have any to incorporate. Um, but I will be adding capers and red onion, because those are things I do associate with the everything bagel with lox. Although this isn't lox. Again, as I mentioned at the beginning, we kind of ruin the lox if you actually just put raw lox on a pizza and baked it. I think the California style bagel with lox typically has avocado. We're not doing that either. I think we have plenty of fat on this. We don't need another source of fat. That seems like good coverage. You want it to be a little bit chunky. Avocado and cucumber. That's a little wonky. You're right. That's a little wonky. That was almost perfect for the amount of fish. I guess I'll just eat that little fish end. Mmm. 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 I love salmon so much. Okay. We're moving this temporarily so I can clean up the worktop here. Scraper. Bench scraper, where are you? Have you been shoved? You have. Okay. Scraped. We've also got to slice an onion. I don't think I'm going to need all of this onion. So we will start with just half of this onion. I never noticed how much onion is on the bagel with lox if you get it as an everything bagel, because it's got the onion, the fresh onion on it, but then it's also got the onion that's in the everything bagel mix. Okay. Push you to the side. Bring the actual thing back. These are definitely a little thicker than I would have them on the bagel, but they're getting baked, so that's probably fine. You're not a raw onion person. Well, these aren't going to be raw. They normally are, but you know, pizza. Um, you use cucumber for the veggie snappiness. Okay, okay. I like a raw red onion, but in moderation. You can definitely go overboard with onion, which I think we might have done here. But you know, whatever. We're just gonna plow ahead. No regrets. Non-regret. Oh my God, bookwoman, bookwoman. Oh, oh, it's stuck. The gift bomb, gift sub bomb, gift sub bomb happened. You got Juice, you got Mags, you got Flamingo, you got Carrot King. Do I know Carrot King? Do I know a Carrot King? You got Queerly. Happy Christmas. Wowee. Excitement. Happy solstice. That's today, possibly? Trying not to drip caper juice directly on the pizza too much because we don't want to over wet this thing. I've definitely put too much liquid on pizzas before and had them just turn into soup, um, which could be good. You could make a pizza soup, but ideally you want to do that on purpose. Okay, capers. I'm getting a little low on capers. I'm gonna have to get another one of those big jars. They last nearly forever. They're pickled, so they last nearly forever. And does anything else go with this flavor? Oh, I know. I almost forgot. I was gonna throw on. This is dried lemon zest because I think a little bit of lemon goes with the flavors. Also going to top it with a little bit of additional everything bagel mix. A little bit of dill seed, perhaps, right on just a sprinkle, just a. You don't see dill seed nearly as much as dill weed. I think the seeds are stronger. Um, okay. Does anyone else have any ideas of things that could be added to this mess? Oh my God. Bookwoman, I just noticed you jumped us directly into a level 2 hype train. It seems like they made hype trains way easier to hit these days, but still, jumped us right into level 2. Um, before I commit this to the oven, to the hot box, is there anything else? Is there anything else you think fits what we're doing, or is obviously missing from what we're doing? Let's find every with locks. Avocado. I could add tomato if you think we need it, but I don't typically associate that personally. Um, I could add chive. I think if I add chive now, it will get lost. I don't have any cucumber. I can't add cucumber. Oh my God. I got a kind of a weird little emote. And all I had to do was stand here. I think we're good. I think it's good to go in the oven. I think it's good to go in the oven. So we're going to find out what this thing bakes, how this thing bakes, what this thing turns into when you bake it. I don't know how long to bake it. Ooh, it's hot in there. I don't know how long to bake it. I don't know anything that we're doing. I don't have a backup plan either because I didn't have any time to plan anything today. Um, I don't know what we're doing. Oh, so I guess we're gonna hang out and think about baking for a little bit. Anybody have good plans coming up for the holidays? I've already talked about my lack of plan because of just work. Let's see. We used a little too much cream cheese. Be ashamed to waste that. I might do something with that. What can I do with a little bit of extra cream cheese? What can we do with a little bit of extra cream cheese? And a little bit of extra onion. My hands really smell like dill. What can we do with a little bit of extra cream cheese and a little bit of extra sliced red onion? While our pizza is dying in the oven, dying a terrible, slow death in the oven. Okay. I'm gonna make a quick. I'm gonna do something that Chef always does and make a quesadilla. That's what Chef does. Makes a quesadilla. These are a locally made, handmade tortillas. I didn't make them, but they were made here in town. And I've discovered that refrigerating them prevents them from going wildly stale. which makes them quite a good thing to keep on hand. They're corn tortillas, and my experience with corn tortillas has been quite negative. But that's because they are always so freaking stale. You get them fresh, and they're amazing. And that's why restaurant corn tortillas always seem way better than the ones you've got at home. Because they're not using stale ones. The ones you get in the package at the store, always stale. Stale before they got to the store. You had no chance. These, because they're made locally, not stale. And refrigerating them helps hold off the staling. Although when they're cold, they do get kind of stiff. So you still need to work with them. But they make mighty fine vessels for lots of things. They make a pretty good air fryer, like quick and dirty quesadilla. I've done that a couple of times. Slap that together like that, and then we grab a pan and fry it up. Queerly, moisten. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. Moist. And heck, I'll give you a cheers too. Cheers. Today we are drinking. Today we are drinking Bianco vermouth, white vermouth. A heavily seasoned wine that is very vanilla forward. It is vanilla wine. And I love it. Okay. Buttered. And sizzling. It didn't exactly sizzle, but the butter did. Oh, thank you so much for those 5 gift subs, Bookwoman, and the hype train. Kind of got a one-person hype train going on there, but you know. Oh, what's everybody having for dinner tonight? Or last night? Or tomorrow? How long did I decide to cook the pizza? I didn't. We're going to peek at it periodically and see what it looks like, because I don't have a good concept of how long it's going to take. That's what that is. And we're testing out leftover cream cheese mix in a quesadilla, just real quick. See what that does. A regular, this is, so it's a thin crust pizza. So a normal thin crust pizza, I'd say 15 minutes. We did kind of load it up, and the toppings are weird, to say the least. So it's tough to say. But my plan is to peek at it periodically and see what it's doing. Um, this was the thing that I had planned for last week when I thought I wasn't going to have very much time to work with. So, it, understandably, it's a little bit half baked in terms of a concept. Pun intended, I guess. Pun wasn't intended, but I'll take it. Oh, let's see. I think I want to take a picture of the pizza as a whole pizza. It's going to be big too, unless it shrinks a ton, which it might. That's definitely something it could do. Honestly, I do not know how either the salmon or the cream cheese are going to react to being baked. Those are both complete wild cards to me. Just shaved beef sandwiches with grilled peppers, onions, and some provolone. So Philly cheesesteak. But without the cheese whiz. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, I got that same little emote. Better with provolone. Is it? Is it? Cheese whiz is like the classic though, isn't it? I've heard so many conflicting things from Philly. Like that I've heard a thing that the Philly cheesesteak is served with cheese whiz to people who are visiting Philadelphia as a deliberate sort of, haha, here's this thing. But I don't know how to, I don't know if I can confirm that. Confirm or deny. Besides, cheese whiz, that's the fancy cheese. You want to go low end cheese, you get easy cheese. That's a working man's canned spray cheese. Flamingo! Flamingo! Did you see? You got gifted a sub. Hi, Flamingo. I should shout you out. Our thing is going fast and weird today. Fast and weird. This isn't the thing. This is me cooking on the side while our thing bakes. Our thing is a pizza. Our pizza is in the oven. Look at how nice. Oh. Make quesadillas with fresh corn tortillas. They're so much better. They're so much better. Yeah, our thing is in the oven, bacon, and not bacon. It's a pizza. There's no bacon on it. I didn't add bacon. It's baking. The king of the bay. The Bay King. We loaded it the heck up. This is me testing out the remaining filling, the remaining cream cheese in a little quesadilla. You know what? I'm gonna take a picture of that to share with Chef Room and Board, our friend, because they make quesadillas all the time. I'm not going to go through the trouble of taking us over to the station. Oop, got a piece of onion on there. It didn't stick together. That's interesting. Is it the egg? Ooh, that's a weird one. That's a little bit of a weird one. So I put one egg into our cream. For those of you who weren't here at the time, I put one egg into our cream cheese in hopes that it would help the cream cheese sort of not completely melt apart. The way you do with like a cheesecake. But we're not cooking it to a jiggly level like you do with a cheesecake. So I don't know if that's gonna work. Based on how this came out, we might have issues. All right, that's weird. Whoa, that's weird. Tell you what the first flavor that hit me was. The first flavor that hit me was olive oil. I think we're going to have an adventure when this pizza comes out. Speaking of which, let's peek at it. The edge of the crust is starting to look baked. I just peeked in the oven. The edge of the crust is starting to look baked. I might turn the whole thing. That pan has holes in the bottom. It's vented, so it should prevent the bottom from getting soggy. It should help it bake at the bottom and stay like crispy. Here, let's do a quick peeky with you guys. A sneaky peeky. It did shrink a little bit too. It looks like this at the moment. It looks like this at the moment. I'm going to take a sharp little knife and pop that big old bubble that was forming right there. The edges are starting to look okay. The middle looks very soft still. We're gonna we're gonna cut some bubbles. Try to mitigate ballooning. I'm sorry, but I don't want a bubble to form a big balloon. I am concerned about that specific scenario. Medium bubbles are okay. Big bubbles are a problem. Bubbles near the edges are going to be fine. Bubbles in the middle are going to be an issue. It needs more time. The edges are actually looking pretty good. The middle is soft. At least the top of the middle was soft. Anyways, I'm going to give that a little more time. It looks good. I want to give it a little more time. I'm going to try to take the edges until they're golden brown. But it's not going to take too much longer, or we'll overcook it. This little quesadilla is weird. It does none of the things I expect a quesadilla to do. Except, I guess, be in a crunchy tortilla shell, but... how's it going, Flamingo? How are you? How's things? I've been so busy. I haven't barely had time to poke in on anybody's streams lately. I've only had time like first thing in the mornings. I hear that. It's Monday. And already, this week has been so long. Last week was very, very long. Last week was 9 days long. And then I had a day off, and now it's Monday, and already this has been almost as long as last week. There were so many people at the store on a Monday. That cream cheese stuff would be a good filling for an omelet. I don't think it's a good filling for a quesadilla, but it would be a good filling for an omelet. Like an American style omelet, where you really kind of overcook the eggs on the outside so they've got some resistance to them. Cook them to the point where the little brown spots are starting to form. Ooh, I steamed my face. I'm not sure what I'm looking for in there in the pizza. Other than pizza. You guys should probably look at my face, because there's nothing to look at elsewhere. Everything bagel pizza. Oh. So, what's next week? Next week, I have no idea. It's the 29th. It's not even yet January. I should probably check and see if a schedule has been made. I know our manager is also swamped with work, and I betcha he's fallen behind on making a schedule for next week. Um, I'm just, I'm just standing here looking at pizza. Is it ready yet? Can I do it? Should we do it? There's no like puddles forming in the middle. Which is good. One of my several fears, I was worrying there'd be too much liquid on it, that it would pool. I was worried that the cheese would separate. I was worried that the uh, um, fish would get hard, not like crispy, but just like leathery. Um, I'm worried for all of the spices that they might burn because they're just kind of exposed to the inside of the oven. These are my concerns. But honestly, it's looking pretty good. I might pull it now. Here, you guys also, oops. Y'all also take a look with me. We'll pull it out, take a look at it. It's not that different from when we looked at it the first time. I think it's a little more crisped up. It looks like that. It looks like that. What do you guys think? The edge crust is hard. It doesn't slide, which has me a little bit worried about the middle crust. It also could just be that the little vent holes got caught on the dough when it was soft. It's definitely got kind of a flex to it. I want to get in the middle to figure out if it's got that soggy bottom. If the bottom crust is hard or is like dry and crisp in the middle. Now, this only reaches in about this far, but as far as that reached in, there was no catch, and it's got like dry flour yet on it. So that's good sign. So unless it's right in the center, it definitely kind of caught in the holes. I I think we're good. I think the bottom is crisp. It's still not released from the pan. It's still not quite released from the pan. Oh, I got it. The fact that it's sticking to a nonstick pan has me a little worried. It's hot. It's hot. Okay, it's definitely not soggy bottomed in the middle. Because I was able to poke my finger in there. We're going to center it up, take a picture before I attempt to cut it, just in case it disintegrates when I cut it. But I think we got away with it. I think we got away with it, guys. I think we got away with it. Mags, hi, welcome. You're here just in time for the pizza. Look, there it is. I think why it was sticking was that the dough, when it was still raw, conformed to the little holes in the pan, and I had to kind of pop it out of them. Because that's the thing right there. Look at it go. It smells like a lot. It's got a lot of smell. Which is also something, because I'm still kind of congested, so it smells like fish and capers. It smells like fish and capers. Those are the two main smells. I want to pick it up and look at the bottom, but it's not quite sturdy enough to pick the whole thing up and look at the bottom. But I guess we cut it. Now that Mags is here, we can actually cut it and eat. We were waiting. It does look good, doesn't it? What plate? What plate? It's pale. It's mostly shades of brown and a little bit of purple. Black plate? Black plate? Black square. Ooh, or I could cut it. Should I cut it into triangles or should I cut it into squares? That's a question. That's a question you guys can answer. I was thinking that plate. A full actual question for the entirety of chat. If you are here right now, make a decision. Cut this pizza right here, into triangles or squares. Clearly has voted for triangles. Oh, now we're tied up with squares. Mags wants triangles, Bookworm wants triangles. It's 3-1 in favor of triangles. 4-1 in favor of triangles. Triangles are running away with it. One triangle right in the middle by normal value. I know what that is. Ooh, the red onions don't hold super well. What we're doing now is we're going to take half of it by hand back over to the pan. And then we can cut the other half into nice, neat triangles. So, definitely not a soggy bottom. And once I got it cut in half, it also definitely had the integrity to hold up. I bet you it'll hold its point. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, it looks so good. It's not normal value. No, no, I get it. I know where normal value is coming from. I get it. Sometimes you have to be the monster you want to see in the world. Uh, and that's, I guess, the pizza. Should we do two pieces on this plate or just the one and try to frame it real nice? Just the one. Okay, well, I'm going to take a picture on the formal picture taking site over yonder. And then we'll come back and we will. Well, two wouldn't fit side by side, but two would fit if they put them on top of each other. Well, I kind of want to do. Okay, no. I'm doing as top it down as I can with this one because I really like the looks of how it is framed by the plate. And then we taste. And then we taste. We do a couple of tests. It's pizza. It's got to pass the pizza tests. We can't do all the pizza tests because one of them is can you eat it cold in the morning? This one, I'm going to say probably yes, actually. But one of them is can you eat it like a pizza? And yes, if I hold it all the way back here, one of the topping pieces fell off, but it retains. It's got just a little bit of a sag to it, but it holds together. Nice and crisp on the bottom. Mmm. You know, no, we can't talk about it yet. Came in from left field. Damn, that's really good. uh, okay, it's definitely salmon forward. There's no hiding from the smoked salmon flavor, which is fine. Smoked salmon's a very assertive flavor. And there's quite a lot of it on here. The cream cheese gives you this, it still tastes like cream cheese. It's got this really interesting sort of soft, it's not that sort of gooey cheese of a normal pizza. It sure didn't melt and separate. It's kind of just this like soft, it's almost marshmallowy texture. It's really sort of an interesting counterpoint because the rest of what's going on is there's a lot of crunch. So having something soft in there actually helps a ton because all the toppings, all the seasonings have given it a lot of crunch. And the bottom crust actually is really quite crispy. So that also adds to the crunch. The salmon is not, definitely not overcooked. It's a little bit dry, but I think that's fine because it just gives it some texture. The the out of left field in the late the out of left field flavor that hit me in the first bite was a caper, which weirdly waited until the very end to come out of left field and be like, by the way, also a caper. Um, it's got such a crunchy crunch to it. Mmm. Mmm. I think it could use a little bit more of the dill. Because I've lost that. I'm not tasting the dill. But also, there's a million things going on. I can all the everything seasoning is providing a lot of crunch, but also a lot of like savoriness. I think the red onions being baked into it loses them a little bit. Honestly, when we peeked at it, that would have been the time to add the red onions so that they would still be like par cooked, but not completely cooked out the way they ended up. It's really good. I was legitimately not sure this one was going to even work, like that this was even going to bake properly. But it's really good. Mm, I think I got a winner here. I think I got a winner here. This one's going. I'm gonna write this one. I'm gonna write this one down. Not that there's much of a recipe to it, but we're gonna remember this one. We're gonna remember this one. Hot dang. Um, you know what this makes me want to do? Ages ago, before many of you were even here, was doing a lot of weird. I was doing some weird cheesecakes. One of the ones I wanted to do was a smoked salmon cheesecake because cheesecake is made with cream cheese. Smoked salmon and cream cheese, the same basic flavor concept we've got going on here. We never did that one because cheesecakes are a lot of work, and if you screw them up, you've wasted a lot of time and effort and ingredients. Um, but now, based on this, I think that one might work. It's essentially the same flavors because you'd put in the red onions, you'd put in the capers, you'd put in the dill. Anyways, we got a winner. It's also a little bit peppery. The pepper that I added right at the end is definitely there. Um, we got a winner, guys. We got a winner. Yeah, I guess there's not much more to say. I had a winner. Um, I had a I, okay. There's not much more to say. Cheesecake and salmon. We might revive that idea. It's a lot of it's a lot of like a cheesecake is like 4 pounds of cream cheese, and then I've got to have like a whole side of salmon or some nonsense to get enough for it to balance out. We'll put a pin in that one. We'll put a pin in that one. I already put a pin in it earlier, but I like savory cheesecakes. I don't know if you've ever had a savory cheesecake. They're quite different. Um, it would be a very expensive cheesecake too. It's a lot. There's a lot of salmon. There's a lot of salmon goes into that. I can picture exactly what I would want to make out of it, and it would be a time. Um, we're gonna raid out before, so I can enjoy the rest of this pizza. Probably not the rest of this pizza, but you know, at least a couple more slices before they get cold. Um, who's on? We have to go tell Chef how this came out. They were here earlier, so we are in fact going to. We're just gonna raid Chef again. Um, can I put the recipe in Discord? I can write down what I put on this. The recipe is. I mean, I used a bunch of pre-made ingredients. Sure, I can jot this one down. I can jot down what basics of what I did here. Um, we are gonna go raid with they're making pecan snowball cookies. We're gonna go tell them how this turned out because this turned out very good. Um, happy Christmas to everyone. Um, I have no idea if I'll be able to make it next week at this point. We're still in the thick of the season, so I'll try. I'll give it a go, but I can't lock anything in at this point. Um, yeah. So thanks for showing up. Thanks for sticking around. Thank you for the big gift sub from Bookwoman, and thank you for the resub for the almost a year resub from Shining Spear. Happy New Year. If I don't get to see you before then, our countdown is happening, so I am just going to say goodbye. Goodbye.